Hi everyone, this is Sam Hunter at Hunter's Design Studio, and I have a new pattern for you. This is the Hidden Irish Chain, and this quilt was inspired by the one that I'm holding, and we're going to show you a bit more about this quilt at the end of this video if you want to stick around and see all the inspiration that comes from a quilt that was made in 1895 and why I went out and purchased this one because it was so fascinating to me. So this is an Irish chain pattern. It's pretty classic in its construction. It's a 3-color quilt. The pattern details 4 different sizes: crib, lap snuggle, twin, and queen. And it has, of course, we hold no secrets here, everything you need to know about it. Color-wise, I think it's really best to pick 2 colors that are in a similar color family, like these 2 blues, but make this one be really, really close in value to the background so that this secondary design kind of pops out in the darker ones. This is what attracted me to the original quilt, and we'll show you that later. Skill set wise, you're going to need a pretty accurate 1/4 inch seam, and we do have a video on that. We'll link to it below to help you out. But other than that, it's all strip piecing. It's an easy construction, and it makes a really fun and beautiful quilt. If you have any questions, obviously get in touch at Hunter's Design Studio on the contact page, or leave us questions below on YouTube, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So this is the vintage quilt that inspired the Hidden Irish Chain pattern. It's made, you can see here, it was made in 1895. So it's been with us for 130 years. It has obviously been well used because the binding is coming apart. But when I saw the photograph of this on eBay, I didn't notice that the secondary blocks were the palest of pale pinks. And all I could see was this really quite contemporary design where these were popping out. It's very, as much as I know about the history, it's definitely a really good example of its age, turn of the century. It was very common to have circular designs in the white spaces or in the negative spaces. And it was very, very common to have very, very tight machined bindings that frankly were not all that good looking. I've got more than one quilt that looks like this. But one of the fascinating things about this quilt, if you know what an Irish chain block does, so the Irish chain has this 25 squares here. It's a double Irish chain because there's 2 of them that go across. And then the secondary block just has 4 squares in the corners. The secondary blocks of these, of this particular quilt, these are appliqued. These are appliqued onto a full-size square. They're not pieced in. They're pieced in on my pattern because I'm assuming you're going to have a solid fabric back here. And while this is machine pieced, this is hand appliqued. So one side of the block has a running stitch, and then the other side of the block has an appliqued whip stitch on it. So really fascinating way to get the job done. And that's what really attracted me to it, or it to me. Normally I only buy orange and white quilts, but this one was just too fascinating to pass up.